Your Story family, this is Allison Gaillard with Run Your Story, where every story needs to be heard. And I am so thrilled and excited and honored to be able to share with you guys about my friend, Joanne Parker, aka the Spiritual Gangster. She is absolutely incredible, and we were introduced by Rachel, who's been on the podcast, and she is just absolutely amazing. It's just incredible. Joanne calls herself a lifelong learner, and I think that's the coolest thing. Joanne says that she's so thankful for her family being so active and teaching her about healthy body, healthy lifestyle choices. And that came crucial whenever Joanne found out that she was a type 1 diabetic and has a pump with her everywhere she goes. I took away from Joanne, not only can you do anything, because she says, yes, I can, but that you are enough in whatever you're doing, whatever role that you have to be, whether it's a parent or a runner or in the medical field or a teacher, that you are enough for what you need to be to those you need to be around. That was absolutely incredible. And just all the things that Joanne has overcome, and she shares all of that. But also that CrossFit really helped her become the runner that she is. And that's just so cool. You just never know how a sport will play into another sport. And that's just absolutely fantastic. I am so stinking excited to get to share with you guys Joanne and her run story. She's absolutely incredible. And speaking of incredible, if you've not checked out Magnolia Soap Company, you guys are really missing out. Guys, it's a woman-owned business and our own Mobile native, Candy. She's absolutely incredible. And Magnolia Soap is all about giving us Mobilians access to plant-based products that are made right here in the store. My favorites are the deodorant, the room spray, the car smell, the body oils. I mean, just the list goes on. Everything I use. In fact, at work, they make fun of me because I even use Magnolia Soap sunscreen. Yeah, everything I have is Magnolia Soap because I believe in their products so much. Guys, you can even host parties where you can make your own products there. I'm getting ready to host one. So excited. Guys, from their hand-ground laundry soap, the best soap you'll ever have, to shower oil, sunscreen, the list goes on. Their products are a blend of natural oils and plant-based fragrance that your skin feels luxurious, but it's also for all skin types. I'm a super sensitive skin type, and this does not bother my skin at all, and I absolutely love it. And guys, don't be jealous because they also have a men's line. So good, so good. And guys, graduation and Mother's Day is coming up. Your mom and your graduate, they want something from Magnolia Soap. I know because I'm a mom, and I know because we have a high school graduate. So I'm here to say, go to Magnolia Soap. They are located at 4504 Old Shell Road. You can also place orders online, or you can also have in-store pickup. They are absolutely incredible. It's so much fun. Actually made for Christmas, we shopped there and gave my nieces little gift bags from Magnolia Soap. They absolutely loved it. It was so fun. So definitely go check out Magnolia Soap Company and tell them thank you for partnering with us for this podcast. They believe in the running community. They believe in this podcast. They believe in your stories. So thank you, Magnolia Soap Company. And with that, guys, get ready, get set, and go run with my friend Joanne and her run story. Well, I already love you. And okay. Rachel introduced us, and so thankful that she did, because we've been texting back and forth a little bit to finally make this happen.
Okay.
And then
Rachel is awesome.
She's amazing. And we've gotten to know a little bit about each other, and just already want to be your best friend. Let's go. I'm not going to work out with you though. I'm not a cross.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'll go run with you.
We could run together.
We could.
I'll do that.
So let's talk about your run and your CrossFit story.
Okay.
Because you've also recently just qualified, from what I've been told. Oh, you didn't think I was going to know that.
Okay.
A little birdie told me that you have qualified for the quarterfinals.
Yes.
So
in CrossFit.
In CrossFit. So what is your run story and what is your CrossFit story?
Okay. Well, my run story, I go back to high school. I was a track athlete in high school. Primarily, I was a swimmer. I swam year round. But I mostly in track did the 800 and the mile.
You were a long distance swimmer.
So, yeah, and I loved it. I loved the camaraderie. I loved everything about it. So I got out of that season. I swam into college.
Wow.
And then I got married very young, started a family, but always wanted to keep in shape. Always was looking for something to do. A lot of times it meant I was just pushing kids around in a stroller, or I was kickboxing. I did at the YMCA. I continued to swim, just something. And I credit my parents for that. They always seemed to work in exercise. You always knew it was time to get up in the morning when you heard my mom's VHS tape go into the video record, right? And you hear this music playing, and she'd do about 30 minutes of low-impact aerobics.
I love that.
Right? But she did something. They played racquetball, and we were drugged to the racquetball courts on Saturday. And my dad, even later in life, in his 40s, 50s, picked up rollerblading. My dad picked up CrossFit in the 60s, right? So they were always inspiring me to work towards maintaining my body and a healthy lifestyle. So I really appreciated that. So I was ready to do that, even with small kids around and on board, and talk a lot with my hands. But at that point, then I had a friend say, let's do some triathlons together. You're still swimming, I'm still swimming, but let's try something else. I thought, well, okay. It's been a minute since I've been on a bike. It's been a little while since I've been running. So I just asked a lot of questions to a lot of people. What do I do? How do I do this? I'm living in Virginia at the time. It's cold. We were going to do something at Virginia Beach, a Sandman Triathlon in Virginia Beach, and in March. So I knew it was going to be a little chilly still.
Okay.
That water temperature is going to be a little chilly, okay? So I'm running indoors on a treadmill. I'm on a stationary bike. So then it was like the week before, I was like, oh, I guess I'm going to need a bike.
Not a stationary bike.
No. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing at all. And so I got a mountain bike. Super thick tires. The treads were not worn down at all, right? So I was one of the first swimmers out of the water. Everybody's passing me on the bike. And the thing I'll add here too is shortly before that, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. It was in the early 90s, okay? So type 1 diabetes means that I'm insulin dependent, and I will be for the rest of my life. My pancreas does not produce insulin. So this is now throwing a curveball into everything.
Sure.
The products were not available in the 90s that are today, right? So I'm completely reliant on a vial of insulin, a home glucometer, orange flavored glucose tablets. They didn't have any other cool flavors like they do now. I'm pretty sure it was just orange. I do not like orange candy today, orange flavored candy, orange glucose tablets. I don't love that. And I was struggling. I tried testing my blood sugar, but I had adrenaline going, just excitement, and my body was working really, really hard. By the time I finished the race, my blood sugar was over 250, and I thought, I'm gonna have to step back a minute and try and figure this out a little better. So I did do 2 more, trained a little better, still had the same rut though that I'd fall into. Like by the time I'd get to that run, I was like, and I think I just got into this thought of, oh, I hate running. This is awful. Every time I run, my blood sugar is going really high. And of course, there was so much more to it than that, right? So I did that for a little while, and I would run, maybe like a fun run. Usually a friend was like, let's go do a fun run. I was like, okay. And I'd push my kids in a stroller for a mile, right? And if we took us 20 minutes, it took us 20 minutes because I'd have to chase down a toy, maybe that they threw out of the stroller, right? And then I fast forward to about 2010, I found CrossFit. Okay. And my sister actually had stepped into it. She said, I found something you're going to love. Because at that point, I felt like I was just stuck in another rut. I was still walking my kids. I was trying to go to a gym, do stuff on my own. But I was frustrated. I was like, my blood sugar's just been high, out of control. I now have 3 kids at this point. It's just a lot. Life was stressful. She said, go give it a try. I was like, okay. So I go in, I do the fundamentals. Nobody had mentioned running. Nobody. I thought I had found something that I'm going to let this feel competitive, bring out that competitive spirit back out in me that I had in high school and when doing these triathlons. This is going to be awesome. I kid you not, the very first workout was a 5K. right? I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Is this a joke? And now in CrossFit, everything's computerized, right?
Okay.
You can look at the workout ahead of time on your apps and things like that. No, there was a whiteboard and somebody had written 5K like on the whiteboard. I was like, are you kidding me? And then to make matters worse, CrossFit Mobile at the time was located by the Goodwill on Airport.
Okay.
Like, it was terrible running space. Basically, I had to run back from CrossFit, touch the side of this Goodwill building, like what felt like 1,000 times. Oh my goodness. And I'm maybe a mile into this and it starts to rain. And not like pitter patter, like, oh, it's raining. No. I thought, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. But fast forward, here I am 13 years later, 14 years later, still doing CrossFit. So it didn't deter me. I thought, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? It took me 45 minutes. But yet I left that day like, I did that. I did it. What'd you do today? If that question was asked, I ran a 5K. I ran a 5K. Like, it kind of sounded cool. Yeah. Even though I was like, I ran over this hilly thing and through this, had to touch the side of the Goodwill, but whatever. I don't think it's ever been programmed in there again. But my running became incorporated into CrossFit, okay? It was a strength training, but in the workout, even this past week, we were running. Might have been interval running.
Sure.
Might have been running a mile here and there. But I'm probably not even a year into CrossFit. My sister, who regularly runs 5Ks, 10Ks, she always just enjoyed running. She's like, let's do a 5K. I was like, yeah, because remember that one time? There was that one time I did it in a workout. I touched the wall 3,000 times. And just back and forth until the reps were completed. And I'm from Eastern Pennsylvania. So she said that she found this turkey trot on Thanksgiving morning, okay? This is maybe 2011 now. And so I'm like, oh, it's going to be freezing. So again, I am not experienced. I am not prepared. The only thing I know how to do is stretch. I'm not even sure I had good running shoes on. I've heard your podcast and people throw out names of running shoes. I'm like, what? It sounds so cool. Can't even say that name. But here I'm like, nah, I've got my trusty Reeboks, right? And I am running a 5K. I had on long johns with sweatpants. It's 32 degrees outside, right? Yeah. I've got a hat. I am bundled with my sister and brother-in-law looking at me like, alrighty. And then, here we go. Joanne, okay. Woohoo. And then I get to the starting line. People are like, drinks and fanny pack. Like, people are just, they're intimidating was how I felt. And I just thought, oh boy, what? And then at last minute, my brother-in-law's like, I see earpod. Well, it wasn't earpods at that point, right? So, cool, classy me has my phone, with that jack, the wire. I'm that runner. I am that runner now. I've got the wires and the things in my ears, right? And I'm just gonna run like this the whole time, holding my phone, listening to music. And my brother-in-law was like, I got you. So he downloaded last minute his or playlist. Yeah. It was like Jay-Z and Kesha and Kelly Clarkson. It's like pop songs from that time period. And I loved it. So I love music. So I have this whole music background. That's a huge part of my life. So I'm running. I'm sweating like crazy. I'm sweating. I had way overdressed, but I didn't know how to shed either. Like, how do you do this? If I stop, will I stop? I don't know how to stop. If I'm in the middle of something, I have trouble going. Sure. Okay? Going again. So I thought, I just got to go. I'm sweating. I don't know how to shed stuff. And the music is incredible. Then I become the runner. These wires are dangling in front of me. Yes. I'm pumping my fist. At the time, I'm like, yes. I was like, what is this? This is a great song. I'm completely lost in the music. Completely lost. I don't even know what my time was. Honestly, there's a picture of me finishing because my brother-in-law and sister, who probably ran the low 20s, right? They have finished. They have gone and eaten breakfast and come back. And I am finishing like this. Like, woohoo, I'm pumping my arms. And behind me is a dog. Somebody had been running with their dog. I was like, I beat the dog. I beat the dog. I was one of the last ones to finish, but I was just so pumped and so proud of myself.
Absolutely.
Okay. But again, just unprepared, like, what in the world? But yet, one of my favorite races. I think just all the things that it started to teach me from there on out. My sister lived here, I think, 2012, 2013, something like that, just a year. And so during that year, she and my brother-in-law were like, look at all the races in Mobile, Alabama. This is crazy. It's called the Little Red Hen, right? She was like, I found this website. And the internet's still newish as far as data and things like that. It felt like that. But she was like, we could run something every weekend. So I got pulled into stuff from time to time. I did a few 5Ks. I'm probably now going 2011 to 2018, or I do a fun run or a benefit thing, like for Young Life or the Chad Sochet or just whatever it was. Sometimes my kids would want to do these 1 mile fun runs. I'm like, sure, I'm all in. Had I specifically trained to run? No. But I had the CrossFit endurance. And I did enough running throughout the week in CrossFit that I felt like I could run for 35 minutes and be okay, 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Or I could run a mile. And if I ended up walking, that's okay. I was out in the fresh air. I love being outdoors in the fresh air. The people that I met were incredible. Everybody's so supportive of everybody. Yes. Oh my goodness. Again, I'm still the girl who hasn't graduated to ear pods, okay? Like still, to this day. I've got the flappy headphones on, right?
I love that.
I do not have cool running shoes. I do not have cool girl running vibe. I don't. I feel like a plotter. I watch these other runners and they look like gazelles. And it's beautiful.
Sure. Yeah,
it's beautiful. I'm like, wow. But I also know that they have put in the time, right? And I appreciate that.
Sure.
I'm like, yeah, these women who are running these faster times, they're doing the work.
Yeah.
They're getting up every day and they are running. They have goals. They have running goals.
Yeah.
And I so appreciate that and the hard work that they put in. My approach has been like, oh, you want to run a fun mile? Okay, here I go. When I still listen to that playlist too that my brother-in-law gave me years ago, right?
Oh.
So I feel so old and outdated. I've mixed in a little Skillet. I love running to Skillet.
Oh, same.
Right?
Oh,
Right?
Hero.
Yes.
Yes. That's it. We're besties.
Yeah.
I
I love that song. When that comes on, fist pumping in
Don't
the
you
air.
feel like anything that happens, you're like, yes,
I am invincible. Yes.
Yes. So good. I love that.
Good. So I could just listen to that on repeat
100%
for a mile.
Yeah.
I love it. That's so funny. Yeah. And sometimes a little Eminem. Right. Right. I'm sure you've heard of Spiritual Gangster.
Yes.
It's a brand. So there's a shirt I wear in the gym from time to time. It says Spiritual Gangster on the front of it. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, a little Jesus and a little Eminem. Little Skillet and a little Eminem. Here we are. I need a hero. I'm like, that's my vibe. That is my vibe. So, whatever works, right?
Hashtag spiritual gangster.
Spiritual gangster. Here I am.
Fantastic.
With the wires on. You can totally see that, can't you?
I can. Oh, because we've all been there. Every single one of us.
I just haven't graduated all that.
Hey,
I still have my Reeboks. I still have Reeboks.
If they work.
I have a wide foot and a high arch. I'm the girl who goes into Feet Fleet and these fancy shoe stores. They're like, oh, they'll be fitted. And the store person will come out like, well, I found this one pair. I'm like, oh, I know. Story of my life. I do not have cute shoes.
Yeah.
I own about 8 pairs of shoes. I would love to be the girl with the cool running shoes and all the colors and decorations. I love it. I can't do it. I just can't. I'm like, it's the way my feet are made.
Yeah.
Whatever. Here we are. So anyway, spiritual gangster. I can promote that. I can't have cute shoes. You can't have both. You know what I mean? You can't have both. I can have cool ear pods or I can have the cool T-shirt. And of course I got a pump. That's now what do I do with a pump?
Right.
It's flapping on my shorts. I can't be.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, but that's, I guess, my run story. And I'd like it to keep going.
Yeah.
I will say that. I don't feel like it's a chapter that's closed. Do I ever see myself 10K these 50 miles? No, I do not. But to continue stepping into a 5K here and there, 1 mile fun, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Love it.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah.
So obviously, besides being a spiritual gangster,
right,
you have learned some lessons from running and CrossFit, I'm sure.
Yes.
So what are some of those that you've learned?
How much time do we have?
Go for it. It's your story.
Oh my goodness. I have learned a lot through running and through CrossFit too. But very early on with some of the running stuff, I learned that I don't like to quit. I don't. I think I mentioned that when I feel bad or something, or with running, I wanted to flip something on my music, and when I can't, I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to stop to do that. I got to keep going. I got to keep going. It's very difficult for me to stop something and then restart it. It's very difficult for me to stop in the middle of a project and stop that momentum, that forward momentum. So I've just learned that I don't like to quit. I don't like to walk away from hard things.
Ooh,
I've learned that about myself. And it might be scary and difficult. I would go back to that first 5K. I thought, ooh, how long are we running? What have I signed up for? Some doubt creeping in a bit. But I wasn't afraid of the challenge, and I wanted to step into that and challenge myself and not be afraid of that hard thing. Finish what I started.
Yeah.
Finish what I started. I have learned that it's good to have someone in life to cheer you on. Right?
Yes.
Support systems are so, so good. I learned that from running when I'd be in these races and people just holding banners for nobody in particular.
Yeah.
Passing you water, cheering you on. Come on, the finish line is right there. I'd be like, this is so awesome. This is so encouraging. And people, I didn't know, I'm just high-fiving everything. I'm just hi, you're my new friends. And it was so amazing. And I learned through those races, it's so good to have people to cheer you on and support you. And I found that in CrossFit. Doesn't matter. I have been in workouts where I'm the first one finished. I've been in workouts where I'm the last one finished. It doesn't matter. I'm getting a high five from somebody. I'm getting, that was awesome. You crushed that. Even when I've doubted myself, oh, I was the last one finished, or I didn't lift as much as so-and-so. And I thought, no, you did it. You showed up. You showed up and you did it. I think of a quote that I found years ago, and it said, she stepped out of the race that she never wanted to be in, and she found her own lane and proceeded to win. Right? I had to do that. Yeah. I had to find my own path, my own lane, my own race. It's going to look different from everybody else's, right? And that's definitely a lesson I learned from running and CrossFit. Stay in your own lane, Joanne. You do what you can do today. So I'm in this quarterfinals now, right, with CrossFit. Did the first workout yesterday. And I didn't really watch the first heat because I thought I got to do what I need to do. I can't look at how fast they're going. They're doing the best that they can do today, and I will bring to the table what I can do for 6 o'clock on a Thursday night. Same thing with today. This is what I got for Friday. My blood sugar may be wonky, maybe my adrenaline's a little high, but I will do my best with what I have. I'm showing up and I'm doing it, and that to me is a lesson I can take in all areas of my life. Just show up. Maybe you're a little tired today, but show up with what you have. Give it your best. Don't quit. Stay after it and finish. Finish what you started. The other one that may not be as deep or serious, but gosh, breathing. Running taught me about breathing.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was from a swimming background or just breathing differently in the pool where you feel like you're every time you took that stroke, or every time your mouth came up over the water, or it just was different. I wanted so bad to be the runner who could hold a conversation with the person next to me. I could not. I'm still not very good at it. If like you and I were out running and we wanted to just chit chat about what was going on in our lives, I'd be like, Allison, and then, okay, like it's almost embarrassing. Like I can't hold a conversation while I'm running. What is wrong with me? I wonder sometimes when I finish a workout or I finish a run, was I breathing? But it has taught me to step back and practice breathing, practice some breath work, learn how to use my lungs and make them stronger, make them healthier, or just breathing in life, right? When I feel myself getting anxious or overwhelmed, or I have started something and the task seems daunting, I'm like, I don't want to quit. Can I finish this? Yes. Take a deep breath. There you go. Just breathe. Just take a deep breath. So I go back to some of those early races where I thought, what am I doing? I'm just running like, what is that? You can't breathe like that, Joanne, and expect to run like that for 35, 40 minutes. You can't do that. So it's taught me a lot about breathing. Yeah.
Do you think that breath work has helped your CrossFit?
I do.
Okay.
I do. At times where before I go into something, I find myself I say go into something, I'll say specifically go into a workout or go into a workout that looks difficult, that looks daunting. My adrenaline's flowing. Like last night, I thought, burpee box jump overs and wall balls. Okay. Can I do it? Sure. Am I speedy? Nah. But here I am. I'm going to do the best I can. Take a couple deep breaths. Take a couple deep breaths. And I found myself even towards the end of the 20 minutes as a time cap to do this work. And I found myself just take a deep breath. All right, take a deep breath before I grab the wall bar. Take a deep breath as I'm walking over. Now, what happens in between sometimes, I don't know. I may lose sight of that. But at least before I get going, I set myself up for, okay, just go. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I think it's helpful. It's very helpful for me. Just to stay focused, stay centered, say, okay, you got this.
Yeah.
You can. You are.
You're here. Yeah.
You're doing it.
Oh, I love that.
So,
That's so good.
A lot of life lessons.
Absolutely.
And I'm still learning.
Yes.
I love learning. I feel like I'll be a lifelong learner.
Yeah.
A lifelong learner. I'm always learning. I'm learning stuff now. I'm sure I'll ask questions like, what's this? What's this? What's going on here? But I love learning. There's so much for me to learn. And I'm still, like I said, I'm still tweaking stuff. I'm sure before I step into the next race, I'm sure I'll be asking questions. So what are you listening to? Where can I get some of those cool wireless headphones? What are you drinking? What are you using to fuel? Or going on some of the Facebook groups I'm connected with now with type 1 diabetic athletes. Pre-race fuel. Even if I'm just running for a shorter amount of time, it doesn't matter. I want to set myself up to do the best I can.
Sure. And I think that's one of the things that I really love about the running community, and I'm sure the CrossFit community is the same way, where everyone will share anything. So if you ask a question, like, oh yeah, here's blah, 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 blah. There's no secrets. Yeah. And that's what I love and appreciate, whether it's on social media that they post or whether you're at a race or event and they're like, hey, yeah, what is that? And they're like, hey, try it. And you're just like, what?
Yes.
It's amazing. And I love what you said about finding your own race, your own area that you're in, because I love that. I love the whole community aspect of running. And that's something that we talked about earlier, is that we're very much both community people. Like, where we want to be with community to run. We'll be talked into a race because someone told us to. Yeah. And I think that is just beautiful. And just to be able to have that togetherness is just incredible.
I love it. I love that support.
Yeah.
I found myself running more through COVID. If you leave my driveway, it's mapped out. It's a mile exactly. If I like run around the corner, hit the cul-de-sacs, and hit them all coming back, it's exactly a mile. I would find myself doing that through COVID. And it was okay. It was okay. I was out. I was doing something.
Sure.
I wanted the exercise. I wanted just the mental break. I'd put on some music and just go run. But boy, did I miss community during that time.
Absolutely.
And Zoom it was okay.
Yeah.
You know? But I could see some faces on the computer screen and things like that. But yeah. And you get that too in CrossFit, in the gym, in your daily workouts, the high fives. So this is awesome. Or to embrace the suck. We're all going to do this together, right? But I've been to CrossFit competitions. I've been on like some masters teams with other women or some masters mixed teams. And even there in that environment with hundreds of people competing, we're still making friends, high-fiving people.
That's amazing.
We're all cheering for each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love it. Like where you don't find this as, I don't know, maybe I just think back to just some other sports where it just seems to be a little more, I'm in this for me.
Yeah. Right,
I'm in this for me, and I'm going to take all the advantages I can get. And to what you were saying, I'm not going to share them. And I keep these for myself.
Sure.
Where in this community, it's like, hey, try this. Maybe do this, do that, pivot. Let's find something that works. Same thing. I love the type 1 diabetics that I've met in these communities too, in the running community and in the CrossFit community. We're like, hey, this is what I found that works. So
that's amazing.
And that's where I found it was CrossFit. It was my friend Erin. One day she was like, why do you keep saying you're not a runner? You know, I think I brought that up a minute ago. She's like, you're a runner. So now every time there's running in the workout, she'll look at me. We'll make eye contact, and I'll say, I'm a runner. I'm running. I'm running this mile. I am running this mile. You know?
That's amazing.
So, and now I've adapted that attitude. So, yeah.
Good for you.
But thanks
That's
to
awesome.
the community. Thanks to the support. Thanks to the encouragement. So,
That's gorgeous. I love that.
It.
What has been a favorite race? You talked about the turkey trot, and you talked about, so is there a favorite race where you're like, ooh, I want to do that one again?
That I would like to try a triathlon again.
Okay.
I really would.
Yeah.
I really would, because the last triathlon I did, I think there were 3 of them all together within the span of maybe 5 years, and I didn't have the technology that I have now to monitor my blood sugar.
Sure.
So I'd love to see what I could do with the continuous glucose monitor now attached to me. With a pump, I don't know. I'd have to, there again, I'd have a lot of questions, but I'd go to the community. I'd find the support I need. How'd you do this? Did you swim with the pump? Did you take it off? Did you put it on to get on the bike? But I think that would be fun to try one again, even if it's just a half, even if it's wherever it is. So, yeah. So I think it was just fun. It was different, but it was frustrating. I'd like another go at it. So I don't know if that qualifies as, what was your favorite race?
Yeah,
and
no, I love that.
One, but
sure,
you learn from it, and you say, I'd like to challenge myself with something like that.
Again, though, you're not afraid of a challenge. You're ready to.
No.
Yeah.
A lesson learned. It seems big. Where do I start? But commit to it and start it and finish it. Don't be afraid of hard things.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of trying something new. I tried a lot of new things in my 40s. I really did. So never too old, never too old.
I love that. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a pre-race routine, whether it's a pre-race workout at the gym or you're going to go hit the pavement. What does a pre-race routine look like for you?
Water and stretching.
Okay.
I really don't have anything outside of that. I know water is so key, though. In doing all this running, CrossFit, I really tuned into my nutrition. I really dialed into my nutrition. I thought, what in the world am I doing? I drink about 5 Diet Cokes a day. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. And I thought, and I don't know if you're drinking any water. And you are attempting to do all this physical activity dehydrated, pretty much. I don't know how many years I thought, I'm just going through life dehydrated, right?
Yeah.
I am just dehydrated. So I slowly started tweaking that to today. I'm much more conscious of my water intake. And do I still need improvement with that? Sure. But I've come a really long way. I've come a really long way with water and stretching. I want to be mobile and have great mobility for as long as I can. And to me, that is key. Even after a workout, after a race, if I can take some time and just make sure I'm stretching, that's real good for me. Sometimes in the gym, before a CrossFit workout or a race, I do have to tweak it a little bit with blood sugar. So I've learned, but there's a lot of factors that go into that.
Okay.
When did I eat lunch? What is my blood sugar doing right now? Should I have a little bit on board? And I met someone online. I do not remember her name, but she was a nutritionist and also a type 1 diabetic. And this was probably, 2018, 19. She worked with me and now actually has me eating a little bit before my workout. And it's amazing. My blood sugar seems to just stay right where it should be. Might deviate a point plus or minus, but it stays right where it needs to be. And then I'll eat a little bit afterwards, which can get tricky in that right now my workout time is 5:15. So it's really like my meal time. And then I'm eating and then going home and I've eaten a little bit, but it works. It works. And so, and I'm sure I will do the same thing for Murph coming up. I do that workout every year in May for CrossFit, where it's a mile run, 100 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 air squats, mile run.
That's insane.
So I've learned to have a big bottle of Gatorade.
Okay.
I've learned to have glucose tablets there because at some point my blood sugar is going to drop. And I'll just keep sipping on that or popping in glucose tablets to keep myself up for the remainder of that workout. Because it's long. It takes me close to an hour. And that pre-Murph and then post-Murph, I'll probably, be eating something just to keep my blood sugar up. So I have that blood sugar factor to weigh in with that post and pre workout race stuff, but that's okay. I figured out how to tweak it along the way. And sometimes I'm spot on, sometimes I'm off, but that's okay. I'll learn and get back in my lane and go on to the next one, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, do you have a favorite running item? Like an item that you're like, I really want to take this with me.
I have to have a playlist.
Oh,
I don't know if
there
you
we go.
consider that an item.
Sure.
Because
yes.
as far as accessories and cool, I'm not really an accessory type girl, but I gotta have a playlist. I gotta have the music.
The gangster's gonna gang.
The gangster's gonna gang. Yes, yes. But gosh, music. Okay. So like I said, I don't know if that's really an item, but because outside of that, I'm just in shorts, tank top, sneakers.
Your Reebok running shoes.
My Reebok running shoes.
Okay.
And I don't have a favorite headband or sunglasses. I may have sunglasses on, I may not. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to have a really cool playlist.
You are, absolutely.
Okay? It's going to fit my mood, and it may be like a soundtrack to the latest musical. It may be going old school.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have something. I'm going to have a playlist. Yeah.
Love that. Let's talk about somebody that maybe is listening that is diabetic and they do want to get into running. And we've talked about how important nutrition is. So as far as a post-race meal, what does that look like for you?
Okay, for me, something with a little bit of sugar, but not too much. So I know bananas are really popular. So it could be half a banana. Could be those satsumas.
Okay.
I love satsumas because they're not sticky. I love satsumas. I have a lot of bars, like a protein type bar. Not as high in carbs, but high in protein. So I may do like a half of a bar, like a macro bar, half of a macro bar pre-race or pre-workout, half of a macro bar post-workout or post-race. So nothing too heavy.
Sure.
But just something to keep it up. And that looks different from everybody.
Sure.
For everybody. There's a guy I work out with in the gym. He has those little Welch's fruit snacks.
Okay.
He has young kids, so he's always got fruit snacks on him. That's his go-to post-workout to keep his blood sugar up. I've done kind bars before. Again, like half a kind bar or half of, I'm trying to think of some of the other granola bars that I've had. There's the brand one.
Yeah.
I've split that in half. But so I guess we're looking at half.
Okay.
Half before, half after. And fruit, just something a little lighter, smaller. And it's really in knowing yourself and how your body is going to respond to the nutrition you're taking in too. Because if I eat a whole banana, my blood sugar may raise a little more than I want it to, but for somebody else, maybe not so much. And it's okay to experiment with it a little bit. You know what I mean? So for somebody stepping into it, I would certainly encourage them to do it because the benefits of running long term and managing your blood sugar long term, the benefits are going to be for a lifetime. I just had an eye doctor's appointment earlier today. After 30 years of being a type 1 diabetic, my eyesight looks great. I don't have kidney damage. I don't have neuropathy starting. To my known knowledge, I guess a complication, I don't have complications right now.
That's amazing.
And I credit that to just constantly dialing in my nutrition and making physical activity a priority. So it's good to be doing something as a type 1 diabetic. So if you're stepping into running, great, do it. Some people always think that, well, I have to be here at this level before I step into running. Or I have to get in shape before I start CrossFit. I'm like, no. Start where you are.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah. If you need to start by walking a mile before you run the mile, start with walking the mile. Tweak your blood sugar that way. Take a look at, okay, if I walk for 15 minutes, what does that do to my blood sugar? When I have a little bit to eat beforehand, or I keep my pump on, and then afterwards I eat a little bit more. What does that look like? And just keep tweaking that. Some people have said, yeah, I've started doing that. I don't go too far from home in case something happens. Okay, do that. Walk around your neighborhood. Meet a neighbor. Get out there. Just do that. And then you can start running. Then once you have a good handle on what blood sugar might look like and what the effect of that exercise is going to have on your blood sugar. Sure, you have to tweak it. I had to tweak it a lot when I first started CrossFit. I didn't know how CrossFit was going to affect everything. And I didn't have a continuous glucose monitoring system. I don't even know if they were around when I started CrossFit. I did have a pump, but the pump was fairly new to me, and I just knew it was in the way. So I would take it off for an hour, and I was trying to work with that. Should I give myself a little bit of insulin before I start, or should I take it off? And then I had to tweak it. I had to tweak it a lot. And I don't want to say I figured it out, now I'm good to go.
Yeah.
I just turned 50. I have hormone stuff that has been challenging. That can affect my blood sugar. I've had a lot of stress in my life. That can affect my blood sugar. And stress can be good or bad.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Big, exciting things were happening along with daunting things and stressful and just overwhelming things. So I'm constantly just trying to tweak the blood sugar thing. But I want to, because I know that's better quality of life for me. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like a job.
Yeah.
24/7.
Wow.
There are no off days.
Yeah.
When you have a chronic illness, there just are no off days.
Wow.
I wish there were.
Yeah. Sure.
I've been there. I want to rip this off and throw it against the wall and be like, really? Really? This is really bad timing. What is going on? But I'm like, okay, so it's a random Friday afternoon in April.
Yeah.
So today it's going to be wonky. Oh, okay. Let's do the best with what we have, and let's just keep going, and it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
That's amazing. Wow. Let's talk about a favorite running memory. And it can also be, I also want to throw in, if you would also share like a favorite CrossFit moment as well. Yeah.
Okay. That first 5K I did, I beat the dog. Remember, I beat the dog? Okay. I beat the dog. I do love dogs too, so I'm just, but that first triathlon, just challenging myself in new situations. So those will always be good memories for me. Because even outside of those two things, I had to rack my brain a little bit going, and what was the name of that one I did next? I remember being here. I remember that one going over a bridge, or I remember that, right? But I thought, I don't remember the names, and because those first ones were very memorable for me.
Sure.
As far as a CrossFit workout, I guess I never really thought about. I do have some favorite CrossFit workouts, but I do love lifting weights.
Okay.
And there were competitions where I would PR a weight, and that was, in fact, in the quarterfinals, one of the workouts is a 10-minute ladder where you're going to do 10 85-pound clean and jerks, rest a minute. Do 10 125-pound clean and jerks, rest a minute. Do 10 155-pound clean and jerks, rest a minute. And with the remaining time, do as many 165-pound clean and jerks as you can. My goal is to get to that 155, which I know I can lift, and just see how many reps. But that's what I got excited about. I did not get excited about the handstand push-ups. I did not get excited about doing wall balls last night. I did not. There's just some things I'm just not excited about. But that workout, I'm going to be like, yeah, this is my thing. So when I would PR lifts, it was such a good feeling. Such a good feeling. And I think I go back to those CrossFit events. There's one called the Pensacola Beach Brawl.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that? Right? Lots of people show up. It's almost a little overwhelming and a bit, but I love those moments. And making those memories with a team. We won a couple times.
Wow.
And I have to say we, because there's a group of women that I did. Very strong, very incredible athletes that I got to work out with. And then same thing with our mixed masters team. We're called Middle Age Mayhem.
I love
that was our team name. So shout out to Middle Age Mayhem. But yeah, so but those events really stick out in my mind too, and just the excitement of it all, the energy that was there. Lifting my best. That's when I would lift my best. That's when I would PR. Just people standing behind you and just, woo, you got this. Put on 10 more pounds. And like, yeah, I can put on 10 more pounds. I'm invincible right now, right? I am the spiritual gangster. We're going to keep going back to that, right?
Absolutely.
I am in this. And I feel so confident all of a sudden. So, yeah. So
that's amazing. Oh, that's so cool. Let's talk about recovery. Do you have a favorite recovery tool?
I do not. Other than stretching, I guess I go back to stretching and water.
Okay.
I just know that when I don't incorporate those things, I don't want to say I'll pay for it the next
Sure.
day, but I certainly can feel it the next day. Okay. I'm a little sore-ish today after last night's workout, but after last night's workout, I drank a lot of water and I made sure to stretch.
Okay.
Just to keep those
Sure.
muscles moving. I jumped on a stationary bike. I walked. I just kept pacing around the gym for a little while. Not quite ready to sit down. I am not one of those athletes that completes a workout or a race and collapses on the ground.
Okay.
I don't know if there's something to that. I don't know if I'm missing out on something. But I had a doctor work with me a while back, and there's just a lot of things we had to tweak. My adrenal glands were fatigued. My gut health was bad. And he said, listen, CrossFit has been great for you, and I want you to continue doing it. I want you to go in and give 50% for right now while we're cleaning stuff up. Always walk away like you could have done more and you left a little bit in the tank. And so I guess as I've aged, I've approached CrossFit a little bit like that. I don't know if I necessarily, for my own health and what my body is going to endure in this next 30 minutes or in this race, I don't know if I want to be collapsed on the floor panting. I feel like my heart will explode out of my chest. So I always find after workout, I'm the one wandering around the gym, fist bumping people. Great job, great job.
You're being the spiritual gangster.
Yeah. And I'm cooling down.
Yeah.
I'm a cool spirit.
You're good.
All right. So, and I'm cooling down because I need that. I need to walk around. And I'm usually the last one to clean up my station. I'm usually the last one to leave because I need that time. I need that time to keep walking around. And I'm probably going to find a foam roller and roll on it for a little bit too as part of my stretching. There was an app I still have, ROMWOD, Range of Motion Workout of the Day.
Ooh, okay.
And that was a great app for me to use too. And you could choose what you wanted. So if you wanted to work on hip mobility for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I would just find something about 10 minutes long. I wish I did it more. I'm talking like, and I do this all the day. No, but just to incorporate that once or twice a week was so good for me too before I went to bed. Take a deep breath, just stretch before I got into bed. And it was probably my stretching and water intake last night that helped me feel good today.
Yeah.
So I can feel a little soreness in places, but I'm reminding myself, well, you're 50. You did work pretty hard last night.
Exactly.
You did have adrenaline going. This was going to be for a score to put on a leaderboard. So, yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
So,
wow.
And who knows, maybe, but at least mentally, that's what I think is helping.
Sure.
But water and stretching, you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. I was just about to say that. It sounds like a winning combination right there.
Yeah. So, yeah.
When you're not at CrossFit and you're not running, do you still get in the water at all? Do you still swim as a cross training? No? Okay.
For those who can't see me, I made a face. It was a sad face. I was so sad when the YMCA closed.
Yeah.
I did do it off and on.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll swim around I'm fortunate to have a backyard pool, and I'll swim around a bit in that.
Okay.
But training and swimming, no. But I'm surprised. So I did an event maybe a year or two ago through Crew Fitness where we swam in the pool.
It was at Heron Lakes.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I was there.
Okay.
And if I can brag on myself, I did have the fastest female swim time.
You go, girl.
Right?
You go, girl.
And that was without specifically training for that. But I knew it was a 500. I was like, I can swim a 500.
I can
nothing. Swim, right? I can swim 20 laps in the pool. And I could, and I felt comfortable about it. But where I was nervous was getting on the rower and then running, because we had a good bit to run. I did fine.
And it was a little hilly. Heron Lakes is hilly. Yeah.
But that's where that cross training was beneficial too, because I thought I'd been working on the cardio. I have the cardio capacity.
Sure.
I have the muscle strength still. God love muscle memory, right? Muscle memory is amazing. I have such an appreciation for it. I did gymnastics in my younger years, and I was competitive with it for a while. I felt like it was such a good foundation. I feel like everybody should do gymnastics or dance or something just as a foundation for sports later on. But because people I can still walk on my hands, right, and flip upside down or hang from a rig and do some I don't know.
Wow.
I'm like walking on my hands. That's my party trick, right? I don't really even have a party trick. But that's what I call it. Anyway, I digress. But I can do that. But I thought, well, muscle memory is amazing. I can walk on my hands. For years and years, I was kicking up on a wall and doing handstand stuff. I was walking on my hands. I was swinging from bars. So
and now you do that in CrossFit.
And now I do it in CrossFit because people, again, accessorize and they have all these fancy grips and things like that. I'm like, bare hands and a bar. Bare hands. I'm like, here we go. This is what I know. A little chalk.
Yeah.
Little chalk. And this is awesome. It feels like home. This is what I know. So same thing for swimming. It's like when I got back in the pool, I was like, I know what to do. I remember how to flip turn.
Wow,
How many flip turns did I do in the course of my lifetime up to now?
Sure.
Million. I don't know how many, but a lot. When you're swimming 2,000 yards or whatever, it's a lot. So the answer is no, I do not swim as much as I would like to.
Okay.
I've talked about it at times. I follow Masters stuff on Facebook, Masters Swimming specifically. Okay. I have friends I swam with in college who have stepped back into Masters Swimming, and they say the same thing. It's amazing. It all just comes back. It comes back, and it feels good. But, of course, to be competitive, that would take some training.
Sure.
You know what I mean? The crew fitness events that I've been to, they were fun. They were a blast. But I didn't necessarily have to. Well, I was training, but I wasn't training specifically for the swimming race per se.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's amazing.
So maybe one day, maybe I'll throw that in with the triathlon.
Why not? Absolutely.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
What advice would you give to somebody that wants to start running, walking, or CrossFit?
Do it. Wherever you are. Again, I go back to what I said earlier. People think, oh, I have to get in shape. CrossFit will get you into shape. Or CrossFit will help you meet your goals. Running or walking will get you into shape. They will help you meet your goals. You just have to start. You just have to start. Yeah. And I believe that you are never too old. You are never too old to try something new. I think about my dad starting CrossFit in his 60s. I think about him picking up rollerblading when he was like in his 50s. You know what I did this past year? I pole vaulted.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I was.
Whoa. Right? I was not expecting that at all.
Right?
Okay, back the train up, girl.
Right. Just to be on
how does one decide I'm going to go get on a stick?
Right?
Over the bar.
Right. But back when I was in high school, okay, girls pole vault was not a sanctioned sport.
Oh, wow.
Girls didn't do it. I would beg the track coach to let me do it. I just want to try. And he'd be like, girls don't have the muscles. Girls can't do this, right?
Okay.
I just maybe old school way of thinking. I don't know. Now this is like late 80s, early 90s, okay? So he just would discourage me, but I would think, I just want to do that one day. Well, fast forward, I think it was 2000. It might be a little off in my dates. 2000, it appears in the Olympics for females for the very first time. And of course, I'm watching this. I love the Olympics.
Oh, say, yeah, but I didn't realize that
Yeah.
pole vaulting had only, I mean, we're going to this year would be 24 years in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. So back in the late 90s. Now, girls might have been doing it under the radar. Maybe some girls got lucky and had a coach who said, yeah, you can try this.
Okay.
That was not my experience. So somewhere along the lines in the late 90s, it became a sanctioned sport for women. So it shows up in the Olympics, and I thought, I wonder. So I just kept it as this dream. Maybe the dream that never was going to be. I'm older now. I'm now married. I'm starting a family. It just, all that. This dream that never would be. But I would share that with people. Oh, I always want to do that. I'd watch the Olympics in 2004, 2008. Oh, that just looks so fun. So anyway, then I had a friend start sending me, this was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, videos of an 80-year-old woman pole vaulting. And now granted, the pole vault is probably up to about your waist, my waist high, right?
Okay.
Or excuse me, the bar.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
And she's maybe running from about 50 steps back, and I thought, oh, yeah, I guess it never had occurred to me that I don't have to be going 15 feet in the air. All I really want to do is just have the opportunity to hold the pole, run down the little sidewalk, get over the bar. That's all I want to do. So then I started to make it my mission to find a coach. So my daughter runs track in high school. And so I'm at the meet one time watching this track meet. I lean over to the lady next to me watching her daughter pole vault. And I was like, oh, I've always wanted to do that. She was like, oh, not me. She said, are you serious? I said, I am. She said, I'm going to give you the name of a coach.
Wow.
Coach Farmer, then Coach Joe. She said they train all these high school pole vaulters, but they also have a master's pole vault.
Stop.
I went, oh, I'm doing this. I think I called Coach Farmer that night.
Wow.
Like, I can't wait. I can't wait anymore. I've waited what felt like my whole life. And I found the coach and I called and I'm like, well, what ages do you do? And he's telling me about kids. And I interrupted him and said, well, I'm actually interested for myself. I said, and I am 49. And I said, but I do exercise. I said, this isn't couch to 5K. I feel like I still have some athletic ability. And he said, sure, come give it a try.
Wow.
This is when we train. And so I showed up. All these high school kids are there, and there's me, and here I am. But I didn't feel intimidated. I was so excited. And he had me work for probably 2 hours just on the techniques and the mechanics of the whole thing. It's such a technical event.
Sure.
It reminded me of learning the snatch for the first time in CrossFit. I thought, there's so much to this. But by the end of the night, he let me try it. And there was also a bungee cord. And I thought, so I don't even have to be afraid of hitting a bar necessarily. I can smack that bungee cord. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that just made me much more confident in it. So I cleared like this 5-foot bar. I was just so pumped. I went back about 3 more times. And I haven't been back since. Because I laughed with him. I said, maybe I should have dreamt bigger. Because he kept saying, you can get into masters and stuff like that. And I said, well, all I really wanted to do was to try it. I just wanted to be able to say, I picked up the pole, I ran down the little runway.
And I pole vaulted.
I am a pole vaulter, right?
That's right.
I am a pole vaulter. Wow. I went back to my friend Erin at the gym. I was like, I'm a pole vaulter. I'm a runner, and I'm a pole vaulter.
Give me the Olympics.
Right?
I'm ready.
Right? But it would take time. You know, going back to the women and the men that you've had on this podcast who are running 25, 50, these incredible amount of mileage, they're training for that. Yeah. They are disciplined, they're focused. My hat's off to them. Same thing with the pole vault. You know what I mean? That would take me being in the gym or in the pole vault, whatever, working on those things. And so I thanked him. I said, this was kind of opportunity of a lifetime. But all that to say, you are never too old. I authored some books in my 40s. I stepped into things where I thought it's just not too late. So now that I'm stepping into my 50s with a lot more confidence, the sky's the limit, right?
Sure.
You know, now, am I going to become this master's pole vaulter? No. Do I see myself running a 50K or whatever? No. But I'll set other goals for me and stay in my lane and do the things that I enjoy doing. So
I love that.
But try something new. Try something new, whether it's a recipe or going to some place you've always wanted to go, or finding a new place to hike, or starting a new friendship. Just whatever that is. Never too old.
I love that. Speaking of goals, what are your goals?
My goals for the future. I definitely want to keep doing what I'm doing, exercise-wise, for longevity, for good quality of life as far as that's concerned. I feel like my goals are always changing, right? But I am really focused right now on getting good sleep, eating right, staying physically active daily. I have 2 dogs, so I walk them every morning, I walk them every night, and I don't take my phone. I call it my headspace time, where I will just process through things for probably a good 20, 25 minutes. Okay. Walking the dogs and doing stuff like this, meeting new people, staying involved socially. And so that's my focus right now. That's my goal right now.
Those are
just
great.
To stay healthy and kind of just hone in on those specific things. Yeah. Eating right, exercising, sleeping right, and just socially staying engaged. Friends, family. So, yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
A mantra. Is there something that you tell yourself when you want to walk away?
yes, you can. That's what I tell myself. Yes, you can. When I'm really good at letting doubt creep into my mind, it's a good friend. Come on, buddy, here we go. Somebody who's like, are you sure you can do that? But you're not as good as her. You're not as fast as her. You have 10 extra pounds. And that narrative was a part of my mindset for so long, and it wasn't good. It wasn't healthy. So now I have this mentality of, yes, you can. You can. You're here. You can do this. Yes, you can. Can you meet somebody new and be on a podcast? Doubt's like, you're going to say something dumb. You're right? Right? I'm like, nope. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So I don't know. Maybe it sounds simple, but yes, I can. And the other thing I tell myself a lot is I am enough. Ooh. I am enough. Right? I am enough for this. I'm enough in my work. I am enough for my family. I am enough for my relationships. I am enough. This is what I bring to the table, is what Joanne can bring to the table, and who I was meant to be and what I was meant to bring to the table. You are bringing to the table what you were meant to be. This is you, your passion. If I'm trying to be like everybody else and bring what they're bringing to the table, I will probably fail miserably. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm enough. Because yes, I can.
Yeah, I love it. With sass. Love it.
Yes, I can.
When you're not running, what fuels you? What are you passionate about? Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Music. I have done local musical theater productions.
Oh, so speaking of, I hear that there was a skit at the gym.
Oh, sure was. When I turned 50, I showed up at the gym as Sally O'Malley from Saturday Night Live, where and she can kick and stretch and kick, because she's 50 years old. I love doing stuff like that. There is a character I've taken on. Her name is Tammy Jean. Tammy Jean is a diner waitress, and let me tell you, she's as real as rain. And she just tells you like it is, because she's got no reason not to. But Tammy Jean has showed up at baby showers, at anniversary parties. She's shown up at birthdays, just giving good old advice. Here's a fun fact, she even showed up one time. I was in the studio audience of The Tonight Show, back when Jay Leno did it. Just long story short, got tickets. And so this guy, John, walks out and he says, so we always warm up the audience before Jay Leno comes out. So who's got something they want to do, a talent they want to share?
Okay.
So I'm like, whoa! My hand goes
yes,
up,
you can.
Because yes, I can. I don't know what I'm going to do, but my hand went up first. I'm clotheslining people, just getting people out of the way. I make it up to the stage with like 4 other people. And I'm the last one up there, so I'm the last in line, okay? And the first girl's like, everybody's singing. I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I used to read this column written by Dave Barry. He maybe had a lot of satire, some sarcasm. But I loved his stuff, and boom, one of his clips just popped in my head. So he said, all right, just tell us your name. I said, my name's Joanne. He said, where are you from? I said, Mobile, Alabama. He said, what are you going to do for us? I said, just give you some good old Southern advice. Listen, I think it's just weird that y'all sing that rockabye baby song with a baby blowing out of a tree and the cradle just busting wide open. Listen, this is what you got to sing to your babies. Is rockabye, rockabye, go to sleep, and don't wake up till 6 a.m. I said, that's it. There you go. So he was like, that was awesome. So he gave me this little penguin. You win. Of course, I was like, yeah, I won. Because yes, I can. And anyway, so Tammy Jean has showed up, and I played a lot of mom roles like Marmee and Little Women, Mrs. Potts, and Beauty and the Beast. So just some fun stuff. And it's just a little break from everyday life. I can step into another role and have a lot of fun with it. And I've met great people through those experiences. So I love musical theater, attending musical theater, being in musical theater. So I sing, I help lead worship at my church. I've stepped in community things that way too, and been a worship leader at women's events. So lots of ways I can use music. I sing, I don't know if Rachel's ever heard me sing in my office, but sometimes I'm in there just singing away because something will be said and I've got a tune. You know what I mean? Somebody says something, I want to be like, yeah, I got a song for that. I got a song for that. I may not be able to sing it in its entirety, but I got a song for that.
And there's the spiritual gangster. That's where she is.
Right. Yes. Just shows up. So
I have to know, do your kids love this? Do your kids love
I don't know what they think sometimes. They're like, oh my God, here comes mom. I'm like, what?
Or is it Tammy? Or is it
right? Who are we getting? I'll tell you this. No shame. They got Mary Poppins when they were growing up because I loved that lullaby that she sang. I can't remember. Stay Awake, I guess was the name of it.
Okay.
Stay awake, don't close your eyes. You know, and you're resting on your pillow and it's soft and deep. I haven't sang a lot. I always sing it in that British accent. And I would sing it to them at night. So they got Mary Poppins from time to time. They didn't get all cutesy fun Mary Poppins. But at nighttime, on occasion, if they were having trouble go to sleep, I'd pull out that, like, stay awake, don't rest your head. And I just sing this whole little, like, Mary. I had to be real quiet, just like that. Anyway, so my kids, they're a lot of fun. I support them. They support me. We encourage each other in a lot
I
of
love
ways.
that. Oh, that's so cool.
I'm their biggest fan, and I feel like sometimes they're mine when they want to be. Is mom doing something cool? Yay, go mom!
That's right.
Mom's making a fool of herself.
You're like, whose mom is that?
Whose mom is that? Whose mom is that? Anyway, so yeah, just music's a big part of the beach, travel. I love to read. So I'm reading a great book by Kristen Hanna right now called The Women. Recommend, 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Anyway. So, yeah.
Any
Good
final
stuff.
words of wisdom, my friend?
Any final? I think I might have shared all that I have, but just for those looking to get into running or CrossFit, just come as you are. You are enough as you are. You can do it. You can do it. So.
Oh, you are absolutely amazing. Such a joy.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you.
And I'm so thankful for you. I'm so thankful that Rachel introduced us. And yeah, we're going to have a girls' night because
I'm in.
Maybe some karaoke thrown in there.
I'm definitely in now. I'm definitely in now. Yes, let's do this.
I love that so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your story and just all the lessons that you learned and your advice. You're just extraordinary.
Yeah. Thank you for your invite and this opportunity.
Yeah. Don't you just love Joanne Parker? She's absolutely amazing. Just absolutely loved her and getting to know her. And literally after I got done with this interview with Joanne, I messaged Rachel and I was like, we need to have a girls' night. Like, I just love Joanne. She's so cool. And again, thank you so much, Rachel, for introducing us. That was so incredibly sweet of you. And again, Joanne reminds us that no matter what you are having to overcome, whether it's physically, spiritually, mentally, that your community is there with you and you can do it. Yes, you can. You can do it. That was phenomenal. And I just, again, cannot emphasize how important that is, that you have that community that supports you and that meets you where you are and you do what you can when you can. That's absolutely incredible and crucial. And I just thank you so much for Joanne, for being the inspiration that you are. So thank you so much for sharing your story. And woo, what an incredible athlete you are, my friend. Absolutely incredible. And guys, how about how she decided to learn how to pole vault? And she writes books and she can sing. Oh my heavens, she can sing. Just wow, what an absolutely incredible person. And just remember, guys, yes, you can. Yes, you can. And yes, you can go shop at Magnolia Soap Company. I would highly suggest that you do that. Thank you so much to Magnolia Soap Company for being our podcast partner for this month and believing in us and the running community. You guys are absolutely incredible. So go in there and tell them thank you for supporting Run Your Story. We absolutely love Magnolia Soap Company. Candy's the best. Everyone in there, they're phenomenal. So love, love, love Magnolia Soap Company. Also, thank you to Gaillard Tech Services for always making us sound great, doing our editing, keeping up with our website. Guys, he is your go-to to build new ones or create existing ones to update them. He can do it and he loves it. He loves being able to pour into others with his gifts and talents, and it's pretty cool to watch. So definitely check him out and tell him thank you for supporting this podcast. So absolutely love it. And as always, Mars Hill, you give us such a safe place to be able to share our stories, and it's absolutely crucial that we have places to be able to do that, where we can sit down and just chat as friends and share our stories, and it deepens our roots. And I love you, and I thank you so much for believing in this running community. And to our Patreon supporters, love, love, love you guys. I hope we win the nappies for our Patreon supporters, for our running community. And if you've not voted for the nappies, you should. Our Patreon supporters would love for you to do that. I would love for you to do that. This is your podcast, and we love being able to do this. And so we hope that you share the stories, like, share, comment on them. Joanne is just so inspiring with her story, and you guys all are. And I'm so thankful that our Patreon supporters have allowed us to keep going with sharing our stories like Joanne, and just so incredibly thankful for them. And thank you to our running community. We are absolutely honored that you guys love us so well and love the stories, and we're just truly grateful for that. Until next time, guys, go run your story, because every story needs to be heard.